it won't cause much damage. And I lost the door. Meet Sally. Sally's a 95 Ford F250 that I bought with a blown head gasket. I just recently fixed her. Today, we're going to fix this door alignment. You can tell the door sags really bad. So what we got to do is replace these door pin hinges. So I bought it with all the door panel already taken off, so we've got to fix that. It's in the back. But if you look here, you can see how the bushings messed up. It's worn down to one side. That's what's causing it to sag. And then down here, same thing. That bushings wore down. So we've got to drill the top of these pins out, drive the old pin through, put new bushings in, which I've got this bushing kit right here, Dorman. So one box comes with 2 pins, 4 bushings, and 4 C-clips. We'll get those installed and see if we can't get this door back aligned. First thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this sill plate right here, and we're going to take off the kick panel, which is going to allow us access to these wires that goes to the door. So hopefully I can take off the bolts right here for each of the hinges, and then remove the door, and that'll allow us to access the hinges so I can drill the pins out, punch them through, put the new pins in. So I've got 4 Phillips head screws on this sill plate right here. And the kick panel should be a push pin right here, which I'll show you in a second, and we'll just pry it off. Alright, so there's that push pin right there. We'll pop this out. See that? And then we should be able to pull this straight out like that. Now I've got to get up in there and see if we can unplug that door harness, which I think is that gray plug right there. So we'll do that, and then we'll take off the bolts for each hinge and remove the door. Alright, so plan A didn't work. I tried to unplug the harness right here, and I couldn't do it. So what I did is I just loosened everything up. I unbolted the hinges directly from the door, and then I just slid the door over. It's sitting on this chair right here. So now this gives me plenty of room where I can get a drill in here and replace these pins, and then we'll just bolt the door back up. Alright, so I've got a drill bit here. I'm going to try and use just a 1/2 inch drill bit, and we're going to go in right through the top here. Now I do have to be careful not to scratch the paint right here, so I'm just going to put some tape on there. That way if I do end up bumping it with the drill, it won't cause much damage. And I lost the door. Alright, so I got the door set back. Hopefully we won't knock it over again. And now we're going to drill our door pin out here. Alright, let's show you what I got going on here. So we drilled the top of that out. Now we just need to get a punch and punch it through. So I'm going to use a 1/4 inch extension to punch this through. Ta-da! Alright, so here's that pin. You can see, let's see if we can focus it. It won't focus. Alright, see the grooves in that pin there? Yep. And then also our bushings. I don't know if you can tell, it's grooved real bad right on this one side right here, obviously where the pin was. See that? So we're going to replace those and then put the new pin in. The lip on this side. Wow, this one's almost all the way gone. The lip's been completely worn off because this was in the bottom part. Just going to pry the metal towards itself and push it in so we can push it through. Alright, so there's a little bit of a lip there, so we can use that to pry it. And there we go. Alright, so we'll take our new bushings. It looks like we're going to have to hammer them in. Uh-oh. Alright, new bushings are in. You can see that. I'm not going to be able to get my drill down to the bottom one with that still in there. Slide that back in here. So you have to put it in where your hinge face goes in like that, mimicking the door being closed. So our pin has got some grooves in the top, so you have to beat it in the top to get it to set. You might need to use a C-clamp. A ball joint press would be perfect for this right now. Alright, let me pause this to find the right tools. Alright, so I don't have the right tools for the tool I want. I also made one mistake. When we had this, when I put this in the first time, I had it out like this, right? Well, it won't pass the stop. So you have to put it in where your hinge face goes in like that, mimicking the door being closed, and then pin it, okay? And then you can see this is the actual stop right here for the door opening all the way. Alright, so now we're going to try and use this C-clamp that's too short. In a perfect world, you would use a ball joint press, or you could use a longer C-clamp and you put a socket on one end and then you just tighten it up, right? So this C-clamp, unfortunately, is not long enough to go past the pin. So I'm going to try and put it next to it and see if I can get it to press in this way. Oh, this is horrible. This isn't going to work because this is bent, so I can't push it all the way through to turn it. Oh. Alright, I gotta figure out a different way. Alright, I still have a solution to get this pressed in, but we need to take it out because I just realized that I'm not going to be able to get my drill down to the bottom one with that still in there. So, now we're talking. So since this bracket goes over the outside, the top one goes on the inside, right? This one goes over on the outside. The bushings are inside the piece that's attached to the truck. And there it goes. Alright. Here's one. Top one. It's not wanting to come out. Oh, this one hates me. Alright, I'm going to pause this so I can not wasting you guys' time. Alright, so I just realized you couldn't even see what I was doing. So we're still working on getting the bushings out. I could file it out. Alright, let's try this. There it goes. Alright. I want to make sure we have plenty of room with this distance right here with the lips on each one of these bushings so that the bracket will actually still go on. This is going to be fun. Alright. Goes in this way. Get the pin in. Try again on the top. Slide her in. Pin. This one doesn't want to go in at all. got it a little bit, but I don't think it's far enough. Alright, I'll pause this again. Alright, I think I finally figured out a way to get this. I've got it down most of the way so far. So I'm taking my pry bar and I'm putting one end on the bolt that bolts into the body. And then I'm pressing up against our bracket, right? And this is going to keep it from bending every time I hit it. And now we're in. Let's see if I can do this without actually dropping the door. So we'll start with the bottom bolt, get it started. So I got it. Second bolt from the bottom's in. Third bolt's in. And the last one. We'll have to lift up on the door. There it goes. Okay. Alright. So these are 13 millimeter or ½ inch. When we line this up, we want to get the paint markings as close to where it was when we took it apart. Because as you can see, we have a lot of movement. Let me pause this so you're watching me just jack with the door the whole time. Alright, got the door bolted up. Let's see if it works. Or at least how it looks. I still have a problem with my latching mechanism here. Oh, look at that. If I can only open it. Much better. Let me show you. Okay. Now, you can see the difference. It's not quite lined up perfectly, but we're a lot better than we were. Before we'd have to lift the entire door up just to get it to open and close. Now, right, there's hardly any room in there. Oh, this is going to be so much better. Alright, let me show you the last little bit and we'll be done here. So the last step is we got to get those C-clips on. One goes there. And then one will go on the bottom of that one there. Here's those little clips. Let's see if I can snap one on one-handed. That's why it's important to get the head of that pin all the way down in there so you can reach that groove. Oh, I got it. I don't think I'll be able to get the bottom one. Alright, well, that's good enough. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.